Terence Crawford, undisputed, three belt holder at welterweight. Boots Ennis is the other one. Has he got any mandatories coming up, or what's the situation with him?
No, at this moment, we were led to believe that there was going to be a rematch with Spence, but I don't believe that will happen. He's undisputed. I mean, he's without a doubt the best welterweight. We'll see what happens in the coming days. We have given his promoter and himself some time to decide what is the best course of action at this moment.
Breaking news, the WBC president Mauricio Sulaiman came out revealing that the rematch between Errol Spence and Crawford is not going to happen. Sulaiman confirmed that the rematch is officially off, as Errol Spence pulled out of the rematch after he activated the rematch clause with Crawford, which leaves you wondering, if Errol Spence never intended to fight Crawford again, then why did he activate the rematch clause to begin with? And why did he waste everyone's time? I mean, Crawford could have had Ben came back and fought already. Now he has to regroup to figure out who he's going to fight next. Jermall Charlo is still out there holding 2 titles at 154. Tim Tszyu is fighting Keith Thurman. And there's a vacant IBF belt at 154. There's also a Canelo Alvarez potential fight, however, Canelo shut that down. And there's a possible Teofimo Lopez fight, however, most likely Teofimo Lopez is bluffing. Last but not least, there's a Jaron Ennis fight available at 147. You even have honorable mentions like Danny Garcia that would love to fight Crawford right now because Crawford has all of the hype. Therefore, Crawford has a lot of options. The one that makes the most sense is Jermall Charlo at 154 for the WBC and WBA titles. We all know Crawford wants to be a 4-division champion. What better way to do so than fight Jermall Charlo, who was undisputed at 154 and didn't lose any of the titles in the ring, but instead he lost them outside of the ring. On the other hand, Errol Spence has a lot of options. For example, if Keith Thurman win or lose to Tim Tszyu, Errol Spence can fight him at 154. That will make sense for Errol Spence either way, since Errol Spence is coming off a bad loss himself. So it really don't matter if Keith Thurman win or loses against Tim Tszyu. That will still be a good comeback fight for Errol Spence. You even have Castano, who Jermall Charlo knocked out for undisputed in the rematch. That will be a great fight for Errol Spence. Remember, Castano actually beat Errol Spence in the amateurs and he claimed he knocked him down. So they can run it back. You also have Jose Benavidez, another fighter who said he knocked down Errol Spence in sparring. Therefore, all of these fights make sense for Errol Spence. These are the type of fights Errol Spence needs in order to get back right. That's why I never understood why Errol Spence felt the need to prove that he's a warrior by fighting Crawford again. Man, if you don't think you could beat the man, why fight the man again? Which, at the end, Errol Spence started realizing his health is more important than wealth. He already got a lot of wealth. So it doesn't make sense for Errol Spence to fight Crawford again, especially if he's going to end up receiving a worse punishment than the first time around, if that's even possible. There's nothing Errol Spence can do to beat Crawford. Crawford already proved he's the better fighter overall, period. From having better hand speed, better power, better reflexes, better timing, better footwork, better quickness, better IQ, you name it. Crawford brings more to the table against Errol Spence. So how are you supposed to beat that guy if that guy is not human and he can turn Super Saiyan? Now, unless Errol Spence can figure out how to unlock the Super Saiyan form, then he has no chance in hell. We all know only special fighters could turn Super Saiyan. Not everyone is a Saiyan. I'm just saying. That being said, I never understood why Errol Spence came out with all of them excuses just to justify why he not fighting Crawford again, or why he lost in that fashion even though he doesn't want the rematch with Crawford. So clearly, that can't be the reason why. At the end of the day, or at least the night, Errol Spence needs to keep his head up. It's all about the best fighting the best. That's what the fans want to see. And that's what Crawford versus Errol Spence fight was. There's no shame in Errol Spence's game for losing, not just to boxing pound for pound #1, but to one of the greatest fighters of all time, possibly top 10. Now, if Errol Spence lost like that to a nobody, then that will be embarrassing, or to a huge underdog. However, to lose like that to the best, there's no shame in that. He needs to keep his head up, keep stacking his bread up, and come back to the game to shake some more shit up. That being said, go ahead and drop your thoughts in the comment section below. Subscribe below, and to be continued on the next episode of Akhi TV. Peace out. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Mike Tyson to conduct the coin toss. So you're saying heads, right, Mr. Crawford? Heads for Mr. Crawford.